What's going on, everyone? I'm Brian, this is Ryan, and today we're going to go over all of the ways that you can apply your DTF transfers. So Ryan, most people think when you're getting into DTF, you automatically have to buy a EasyPress and you just gotta go all out right away. But truth is, you can use an iron, a Cricut, any sort of handheld press, as long as it gets up to about 310 degrees, you can apply our DTF transfers.
Absolutely. You're still going to be able to get that professional look without having to go and drop a ton of money on a professional setup right away. And so we'll kind of take you through those options and see what's best for you.
So let's start with just the standard household iron. Everyone probably has one. So if you're really just trying to dip your toes into DTF, it might be the best route to go because you don't have to put up that extra upfront money for a heat press or even a Cricut. So with an iron, really the best use case for it is something that entire iron surface can cover, something like a left chest, maybe a tag print, or maybe more of a smaller front where you don't have to completely, move the iron that much across it. It'll still work, even if you do have a full front. As long as you just focus on one area for about 20 seconds, then move across and just get that entire design surface ironed, it will work. But best use cases for it, I would say, are definitely a left chest.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's something where, it's not going to be great if you're trying to churn out a bunch of t-shirts all at once. But if you are just doing a few, either for an event or your kids or really anything, you can still get a really great looking t-shirt just using iron.
Yeah. And I would say definitely, especially, and this goes for Cricut as well, you're going to want to use a piece of parchment paper over it, just because you are going to be applying a little bit of extra pressure. It's not like you're just ironing a shirt where you're just kind of like gliding over it. You are going to want to apply some pressure. So just to play it safe, put a piece of parchment paper down so you're not scorching the shirt. And then going off of the household iron, we also have the Cricut, which is designed for this type of stuff. It is a little bit more effective just because it's a bigger surface area on that iron and you can do bigger designs. And it's actually built, like I said, it's built for pressing. So you can manually adjust that temperature and time. Whereas with an iron, you're kind of just beholden to whatever garment settings are on it. But the Cricut, though, you can get as specific as you want with that time and temp. And the use cases are more or less the same. You want to do something that is almost completely covered by that surface area of the Cricut iron, depending on what size you have. But again, even if you are doing a full front, as long as you just put, firm pressure for about 20 seconds over one area, then switch to the other one, you're going to be fine. And really the best thing about the transfer iron, as you know, if you're peeling up and you see a little bit of it going, coming up with the film, you just lay it back down, iron that section again for another 20 seconds, and then you can just keep going. If you're using a piece of parchment paper, doesn't matter how many times you iron it or use a Cricut, you're not going to scorch the shirt, and our transfers never get damaged by heat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say the Cricut's perfect for if you're kind of taking it just a notch above that household iron, so you're kind of doing a little bit more crafting. Maybe you've got a small brand that you're getting started. It's a great kind of cross between, or a middle point between the iron and the full-on professional press, that you have that larger surface area. You can do those larger designs. You might need a second press or maybe three if it's really big, but that's going to be a lot less time and a lot less agita than if you're just going at it with an iron open.
And if you are doing, we kind of spoke to how the Cricut and iron are really best for smaller designs. This one right here, we have this little mini press. This one is literally designed for smaller prints. So as you see, like a very small surface area. So this is really perfect for if you're doing like tag prints or a small left chest, maybe a back neckline. But yeah, if you are doing anything bigger than those, probably gonna want to go with Cricut or iron, because this is just going to add time to your press.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Now, I will say this too, even though those people that do have that full-on clamshell professional heat press, I still know a lot of our customers that still have one of those if they are doing their own branding on the inside neckline. So just because it's a little bit easier than trying to press, especially how the collar gets in the way going inside of the shirt, that just kind of helps you get around kind of the bumps and ridges of the collar and get an even press the first time. So it's a good accessory to have, even if you do have a full setup.
Absolutely. But let's talk about that full setup.
Let's do it.
Because, I think, especially if you've tried these three options and you're like, I love this, I want to get into DTF, or you're just going right off, from the start and want to just dive head first, which, you know, we have no issue with it. I encourage it because you're going to make money off it. Using a heat press will give you the best results for a lot of the reasons we already mentioned. You can manually set the time and temp. You can set the pressure to whatever is needed for that design, that garment. And it really just speeds up the process. You can really set up a whole workstation where you're just picking up shirt, design, press, and getting the other thing situated with the design, pull it off, peel it, put it back on. It really leads to a better workflow if you are really serious about it. And, you know, some heat presses, I think the cheapest one they transfer is about 400,
about 400 ago.
And really they can, like, especially something like this, you see here, like this can be set up anywhere in your place. You don't have to have a professional printing shop to run these. You can set this up in your office, your living room. Like if it's if you're doing it with family and friends, you don't need like a standard or traditional print shop to still run a heat press, you know. And like I said, you are going to get the best results.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's by far, of course, the easiest way to guarantee even heat and pressure every time. Not only just because then you don't have to press it multiple times, but it also just guarantees the durability a little bit better just because you know that it's set to that every time. When it comes to the iron, the Cricut, things like that, where you're tasked with applying pressure over and over and over again. I mean, we're all people. We all make mistakes. I mean, no, I never claimed to be. But it's just a lot easier to just kind of set it and forget it with the clamshell heat press, and it's going to save you that time. It's going to make sure that, you know, the adhesive is fully stuck to the garment, the transfer is good to go, and really you'll be able to churn out shirts at a much higher clip, which is great if you're out there running a print shop. If you just are, if you have a new drop, if you're taking pre-orders, you can kind of bang those out over the weekend or something like that, and really have a good amount of stock to keep going, and then kind of continue to press as those orders come in. But it really gives you that versatility. There's really no way to go wrong. You're not going to get a worse result with anything, but I think with the heat press at the end of the day, of course, I mean, that's kind of the tool of trade, right? Really get a lot of consistency over a wide variety.
Couldn't agree more. And if you are buying a heat press, Native Transfers has a ton of heat press accessories that will boost your pressing game even more, like our silicone plating cover, the lower plating cover, all that good stuff to just maximize your profits when you're pressing DTF transfers. So whether you're using an iron, a Cricut, the handheld press, or an industrial size heat press, you're going to get great results with DTF transfers. And as always, if you guys still have any questions about pressing, or if you just have questions about life, we'll help you out. Leave them in the comments below, and maybe we'll make a video.